Hello, good morning, guys. Can anyone hear me? Kindly drop one in the chat if you can hear me. Drop one in the chat if you can hear me. Okay, great. Good morning. Let's wait for others to join. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, great. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Okay, I think we are going to start. Okay, guys, so let's get started. All right, let's get started. Okay, so good morning, everyone, and welcome to T Billion Forex Academy. If you're new here, my name is Timothy. Aka T Billion, and this is our weekly live market analysis and trading session where we break down the Forex market step by step in a very practical and structured way. So we hold this session every Monday and Wednesday by 9:00 a.m. West African time. And our primary focus is XAUUSD, that is gold, followed by other Forex pairs you request in the chat. Okay. So the goal of this session is to sharpen sharpen and shape your understanding of the smart money concept, including order blocks, market structure, liquidity zones, and price action. You know how you can properly read market structure, identify key order block zones and liquidity areas, and most importantly, how you can apply them effectively in real market conditions, right? So for both beginners and intermediate trader and professional traders, okay, stick with me as we follow a well-structured top-down analysis process. All right. So before we go into today's analysis, let's have a very quick recap of what the market has been doing since our last session. Okay, so let's head to the chart. Please kindly drop one in the chat if you can see my screen. Kindly drop one in the chat if you can see my screen. Kindly drop one in the chat if you can see my screen. And please engage with the live by reacting. Kindly drop one in the chat if you can see my screen. Let's do a quick recap on what market has been doing since the last session. Right. Kindly confirm in the chat if you can see my screen. Another one in the chat if you can see my screen. Kindly confirm you can see my screen. All right, so let's move on. Good, 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 good. Okay, so in our last session, if you remember during our previous analysis, we highlighted these levels as a key area of interest. We highlighted these levels. Where's my chart? Okay. So we highlighted these levels. Let me zoom in so you can see the chart. All right. So we highlighted these levels in our last session as our area of interest. You can see it here. All right. Let me zoom in a little. Okay, and look at what price did, right? So on our first zone, which is this was the first zone we marked out. This was the first zone we marked out. Okay, and look at what price did. Price actually came, you know, tap into the zone, right, and gave this bullish move, right? Price gave this bullish move. Look at it. Let me zoom in. Okay, let me drill down to the 30-minute time frame. So we have more. All right, so this is it. So price tapped into the zone, the order block zone, right? Then gave this bullish movement. Immediately price tapped into the zone. It moved up to this price level right here. Okay. I think we didn't take this trade, right? We missed it. I was busy at that time when price got to this zone, so I didn't take the trade. But if I had taken this trade, I've shared it on the Signal channel. Of course, at this point, price moved over 50%, of the range, right? So at this point, we would have taken partials. Okay, you can see the movement. So price tapped into the order block zone and gave this move up to this point, then retraces and tap into this rear zone, and went straight to our TP. Look at it. So the second zone smashed TP, right? Then after smashing TP, just as we predicted, price, came all the way to sweep available liquidity below this low, right? So price came down all the way to sweep available liquidity thereby tapping into this rear zone, which again we're able to mark out in our last session. Let me maximize it a little more. This, so you can see price tapped into the zone, okay, and gave this massive bullish movement. Look at it. This is it. So price swap liquidity below this low, tapped into this rear zone and gave this, bullish movement, came back again all the way to this to retest the level, and once again give another bullish move. And finally, I think there was a news release around this time, which led to this massive um bearish move. Okay, this massive bearish move. There was a news. It was actually a news that triggered this movement. Okay, which led price into an extreme zone. If you remember, we also marked out this zone. Let me take this guy out. Look at it. This is the zone. We marked out this zone in our last session. Look at what price did. Price came in, tapped into the zone, and gave this massive bullish move. Smashed our take profits. This is our take profit level, which is the resistance level. Okay. Price, pierced through it, hit our TP, and continued in the bullish movement. Okay. So you see, our analysis, our what's it called? Our zones. The zones we marked out in the last session actually played out as analyzed. Okay. So that is it basically. With that out of the way, let's head to today's market analysis. Let's look at what the market is doing, or what the market would likely do, today. So let's head to that right away. Okay, so I'll clear the chart. I'll clear this chart. So take all this. Remove all drawings. Okay. So now we have a very clean chart. All right. Okay. So now let's look at what the markets. Let's analyze the market. Let's analyze the market for today. Okay. And you know how we go about this. I believe you all know the process. Okay. So we begin the whole, what's it called? Top down analysis from the daily time frame. Okay. Because of course, that is where institutions make decisions. Okay. So let's head to the daily time frame, which is this. And what do you want to do first on the daily time frame? You want to identify the most recent market structure. You want to identify the most recent break of structure or the most recent market shift. Okay, so in our own case here, this is the most recent break of structure on the daily time frame. This is it. Okay, this is the most recent break of structure. Sorry, excuse me. So this is the most recent break of structure, POS, right? And once you've been able to mark out your break of structure or your market shift, the next thing you want to do is to mark out the origin or the zone that led to the break of structure. In our case, this is it. Okay, so this is the demand order block that led to the break of structure. So this is the most recent one I can see on the daily time frame. Like I used to tell you guys, I'm only interested in the most recent market structure. Okay, that's where we're able to get what's it called, trade opportunity much more faster than having to wait for price to get to the extreme zones here, because this is also another block, but then price may not get to this level anytime soon. So I've been able to mark out the origin or the zone that led to this break of structure on the daily time frame. Next, I'll drop down to the 4H time frame to refine the zone further. Okay, I'm on the 4H time frame. Let me refine the zone. So what you want to do on the 4H time frame is to refine the zone you've drawn on the daily time frame and also identify other zones on the 4H time frame. So for this, I'll refine this zone to this candle, this, okay. So this is my 4H order block. This is my 4H order block. And of course, this is my break of structure. So this is my break of structure. Okay, so I'll drill down further to the 2H time frame. I'll drill down further to the 2H time frame. So on the 2H time frame, okay, so the 2H order block aligns with that of the 4H order block. So I'll leave it as it is. Okay, but then let me mark this order block. We have another block here. Okay, it's an extreme order block zone. Let me mark it out. All right, so we have this, and but again, because price is kind of far away from it, I'm going to minimize it. Let's just have it for reference. And this is the FVG for this zone. This is the FVG for this zone. This. Okay. So I'll minimize it as well. FVG. All right. Okay, so let's focus on the most recent structure. This is it. So for this zone, this is our FVG. Okay. FVG. Let's minimize it a little. All right. So we have this. So let's continue to refine the zone and also identify other zones. I'll drop down to the 1H time frame. Okay, so on the 1H time frame, the order block zone still aligns with the 2H and the 4H time frame, which is this. Okay, so I'll leave it the way it is. I'll leave it the way it is. This is okay. Okay, so we are good with this. I'll drill down to the 30 minutes time frame to further refine the zone. So on the 30 minutes time frame, we have, okay, so on the 30 minute time frame, we have a new order block zone here, which is this. This is our order block. I'll mark it out as a demand order block zone. And if you look at it, there's a tiny FVG, a very tiny gap there. There's a tiny FVG here, which is this. Let's mark it as FVG. Okay. Then for this zone, we have our order block here. And refine it further to this order block on the 30 minutes time frame. Okay, and then our FVG, will extend it down to fill up this gap. All right, so this is our FVG. Okay, let's fine tune our break of structure. All right, so we have these two zones drawn already. Let's refine further Don't forget, this is your resistance. Always mark out your resistance level here, because of course, that is where we would most likely be taking our profit. Okay, and of course, when price breaks that level, we also want to wait for a retest of it to continue the bullish move. So let's put that in mind. So let's drill down further to the 15-minute time frame. On the 15-minute time frame, we have okay, so let's just refine this. Still the same other blocks, and so we have this. Okay, so we have this, but I'm going to mark this as well. This whole zone is our order block zone on the 15-minute time frame, and this is our FVG, and we have another order block here. We have another order block here. Okay, and this, the FVG for this order block is this. Okay, so these are FVG. Then I'll mark it as FVG. All right, so again, you know the rules. When you have two other block zones that are, with a close proximity like this ones, okay, I would rather, wait patiently for price to get to the extreme zone, because most likely extreme zones have higher probability of, playing out compared to, the non-extreme zones. So I would wait patiently for price to get to the extreme zone before I take my trade. And if I'm going to take a trade on this zone, I will be very conservative with my TP. Okay. But then if you look at it, we have like three zones here stacked on each other. One, two, three. So this zone and this zone, have a higher probability of playing out. But before then, let's drill down to our entry time frame, which is a 5-minute time frame, and further refine our zone. 5-minute time frame. Okay, let's bring this a little bit closer. And this, yeah, and this, yeah. Okay, so on the 5-minute time frame, we can further refine this zone to this candle. Okay, so this is our order block zone. Refine it to this candle. Then this becomes our fair value gap. So this is our fair value gap, right? All right, so this is our fair value gap. Okay, and we have another order block here on the 5 minutes time frame, which is this. Okay, this zone and the non-order block, and the FVG is this. So we have a very tiny FVG here. Okay, good. So this, okay, we can refine this further to this candle. Then let's bring it a little. Let's minimize it. So we have this FVG. So let's minimize this a little, and this as well. This. Uh, and this. All right, so these are the zones. Okay, so I can see that this needs further refinement to this extreme, to this very little can do, this one. Okay, then our FVG goes here. Okay, good. All right, why this we refine to this can do. Okay, all right. So let's bring this, guys. Let's minimize this a little. Let's minimize this and this and this. Okay, so now that we've marked out our zone, the next thing you want to do, is to wait patiently for price to get to these zones. Okay, you want to wait patiently for price to get to this zone. Then we look out for price action around the zone. Like I used to say, if I'm taking, there are two entry models I use, right? We have the risk entry model, and we have the risk entry model, and we have the what's it called, the confirmation entry model. Now what I do is, for extreme zones like this, right, I use the risk entry model. Again, for extreme zones like this one and this, I use the risk entry model, while for zones like this, I use the confirmation entry model. Okay, and sometimes I can also observe price actions around this zone, you know, execute my trade even before I get the confirmation, the market shift, execute my trade upon, you know, when I see candles like a rejection candle, right? I take my trade, but then I keep my take profit very conservative, and I break even early enough on trades like this. But for extreme zones, I use risk entry, by just placing a buy limit order. Okay, then when price tap into the zone, my trade get executed by my broker automatically. Now let me mark out our entry coordinates. So for this is where you'll be placing your entry. You're taking profits at this, just target 2R, right? Your SL should be slightly below the zone. Okay, just target 2R for this zone, because what I see price doing here is price will use this zone as an inducement zone, right? I'll explain that briefly. Just give me a moment. Okay, so this is our position 2 on this zone, right? So just target, let's just target 3R, which is this. Let's target 3R, which is this on this zone. Okay, Now, the reason why I'm doing this, of course, I could make this as my first TP and this as, the second TP. But again, whenever there are zones like this stack on each other, where you have the extreme zones and the other zones, okay, I'm very conservative with my take profits because market or price could do this, price could do this, price could come all the way like this, okay, you know, tap into the zone, you know, create an inducement, right? Then come here to sweep available liquidity below the zone and tap into this rear zone, the zone before the zone, or sorry, the zone after this zone, okay, or the zone before. Then again, goes all the way up here and tap into this extreme zone and continue in the bullish, trend. The market could do that. Okay, so all these zones before the extreme zones, could be used as area of what? Liquidity area, right? It could be used as what? Liquidity area for market to, sweep available liquidity and tap into the extreme zones. Okay, all this could just act as liquidity area. And that's why when I'm taking TP on, when I'm setting my TP on zones like this, I'm very, very, conservative. So all of this could just be liquidity area for price to sweep available liquidity, then tap into, the extreme zone. So this is what price might likely do. Okay. So do not be too optimistic with your take profits unless you're taking a trade at the extreme zones. All right, so this is it. Let me take this out. So for this, I'll target, don't forget your SL should be, slightly below the zone. Your SL should be slightly below the swing level. Let me mark our SL. This is the swing level. This is the swing level. This is the low, right? But trust me, for this, I would rather place my SL slightly below, since the zones are, very close together, right? I would rather place my SL right below this low, this. So I'll place my SL slightly below this, which is the fair value gap for the zone before, right? So my SL will be somewhere around here. Okay. Now, worst case scenario, if price invalidates this zone, this other zone might likely hold. Okay. And that is why I'm placing my SL slightly below this zone. Okay. Then for my TP, yes, I can target the next supply zone, which is this whole zone here. Okay, can target the next supply zone, which is this. I don't want to target this resistance level just yet because I believe that until price tap into this zone, that is when we can have, a more massive bullish move strong enough to take out this high. That is just what I believe the market is going to do. Okay, so for this, I will only target the next supply zone, which is somewhere around here. Okay, target this supply zone, then my TP will be right here. Okay, that's how I'm going to take my TP for this zone, and this is giving me 4.2R. Okay, not a bad risk to reward ratio. Okay, so let's have this here. All right. So for the extreme zone, which is this, of course, I'm going to be targeting um, the next resistance level, which is this for my TP. Because I believe from experience, if price should get to this zone, it will have enough momentum, bullish momentum to take out this high, right? Of this resistance level. Okay. So this is the zone. And again, you set your SL slightly below the swing level. In this case, this is the swing level, right? So I'll set my SL slightly below it. Please always give room for, liquidity sweep, because lately gold has been sweeping liquidity consistently at key levels before it makes the actual, move. So give room, allow the market to breathe, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. Just give room for liquidity sweep. So in a case where, price does something like this, you know, swept liquidity below this swing level, it can just go a little below before it goes up to take out this high. At least there'll be room for it to do that. Okay. It won't take you out. Okay. So please make your SL slightly below the low, okay, to allow the market at least the room to strip liquidity below this low without taking you out. All right, so this is my analysis for XAUSD. This is my analysis for XAUSD. So I'll share this on the free signal Telegram channel for those, and also include the coordinates. Okay, so we can monitor, you know, we can monitor what's it called? The price. When price gets to this zone, we are going to execute our trade. Let me set, an alert at this zone. So when price get there, trading view notify us, then we can jump in, observe price action there, and execute our trade accordingly. So please, guys, stay active on Free Signal Telegram channel. I'm going to drop this here there, as well as the coordinates for us to, monitor and wait for price to get to those zones before we execute our trade. All right, so now let's take pairs that you want me to analyze for you. Is there any pair you want me to analyze? Please drop it in the chat so I can take that quickly before we proceed, before we call it a day rather. Is there any pair you want me to analyze? Okay, someone say GBP USD. All right, so let's quickly look at GBP USD. Let's quickly look at GBP USD. GBP USD. GBP USD. Okay, again, we'll follow the same top-down analysis process. I'll take all these drawings. Okay, so we have a fresh chart. The process is the same, right? We follow a top-down analysis process, right? On the daily time frame, what do you want to do? You want to identify the most recent market structure, right? Then what's it called now? Identify the most recent market structure, then you start marking out your zone. Identify the break of structure or the most recent market shift, then you start marking out your zones. So if you look at this market, right, on the daily time frame, the market is obviously bullish, right, because price has been creating, highs and lows, highs, low, highs. Because the last high here was taken out, right, and okay, we have okay, this was taken out, and so currently price is creating a bullish movement. So let's mark out the most recent break of structure or market shift. Okay, so this has just been mitigated. This has been mitigated, so we missed this. Let's look out for this. Okay, I have this. So this is an under block on the daily time frame. This. Now here we have okay, so that is one. This has been mitigated. This other block zone has been mitigated by this bullish, and this as well has been mitigated. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's drill down to the 4H time frame to further refine the zone as well as identify other zones. Right. So on the 4H time frame, let's identify other block zones. Okay. Let's refine this, which we have drawn. Refine it to this. Then the break of structure. Sorry. Mark out my BOS. Break of structure, which is this. Which is this BOS. Right. Drill down to 4H. Further refine the break of structure to this. All right, so this is the origin that leads to the break of structure here. Okay, and I'm trying to, okay. So I can also see a supply order block here, but okay, so let's mark this guy out. Okay, let's mark out this supply order block. This is a supply order block zone, so we should expect a sell at this zone, and here is the break of structure to the downside. Okay, there's a break of structure, and supply order block zone, break of structure. Okay, just look at this. Price has been creating highs, highs, low, high, low, high. So this was the last high which was taken out. Here we got a market shift. Okay, the market shift. This is where we had our market shift, right? We had our market shift right here. Okay, this is a market shift. That is, this bullish movement has shifted from, a bullish move to a bearish move, right? So that is what this market shift indicates. And if you look at this is the origin. This is the origin that led to that shift, this order block zone. Let me mark it out. This is the order block zone that led to the market shift, this one right here. This right here. Yep. And look at what price did. Price has already tapped into the order block. Look at it. Price has already tapped into the order block zone. Let me zoom in. This order block. This is it. It is this order block zone that led to this market shift that we have here. Right. This is our market shift. Okay. Good. So this is it. This is the order block zone. Price already tap into this order block zone and give this massive bearish movement. Okay. Then we have a BOS here, a break of structure, and the origin that led to this break of structure is this one that we've marked out here. Okay. Again, we are waiting patiently for price to tap into this zone so we can, take a sell on this trade. And again, we are taking a sell from here. Our TP will be somewhere around here, this swing low. Okay, this is where we'll be looking at for our TP. But let's continue refining the zone to further identify, all right, so this is it. There is no order block. The order block here that we have has been mitigated. The only one that is still fresh, unmitigated, is this guy here, and price hasn't tapped into it just yet. Okay, so let's drill down to 2H time frame to further refine our zone. On the 2H time frame, we have this, right? That's fine. Our FVG, this is our FVG. Is our FVG, fair value gap. And okay, so we're waiting for price to tap into this, then we take our trade. Further like this, make it look more, All right, so that's our market shift. This is our break of structure. Okay, cool. Okay, okay, let's drill down further. Before we drill down further, let's see if there are other blocks that we are missing. This has been mitigated. And so this is the only one that is still unmitigated. This one right here. Okay. All right, let's move on. Let's refine this further. Already, as you can see, price is already reacting at the FVG of this other block. But again, this area, can be used by smart money as liquidity area, right? So we would expect price to sweep available liquidity right here. So please take note. We would expect price to sweep available liquidity, above this area, then tap into the order block zone, right? So this is a liquidity area for me. So we would expect something like this. We'd expect something like this. Price create an inducement, then go all the way, tap into the zone, and come all the way to this swing low. Okay, so this is what I would expect price to do. But again, let's continue refining the zone further. Okay, I'll take this guy out for now. Let's drop down to the 1H time frame to further refine the zone. Okay, so on the 1H time frame, let's see, do we have other zones? Okay, so on the 1H, we can further refine this zone to this. This is a clean order block zone, and our FVG would be somewhere around this. All right, so that's our FVG, and this is our liquidity, area as we've rightfully, identified. All right, and this is also another order block zone, right? But I'm going to pay more interested in this because this is an extreme zone. Okay. Of course, price is going to react here as well. But then I'm very much interested in this because all of these are more of a liquidity area for price to tap into this order block, then sell down to the swing level. So let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see. Okay, drill down to the 30 minutes time frame and refine our zone further. So the 30-minute time frame, we have this other block, which is the same other block I didn't want to mark on the 1H time frame this, because price will use that as a liquidity, area, strip available liquidity, then, tap into this other block zone. And that is why I don't want to draw it. And as you can see, price is already reacting at the zone. Okay. But what I believe market is going to do is it will just create an inducement. Of course, price will go all the way like this, come back here to sweep available liquidity, then tap into the zone and give us this, you know, bearish move. Okay. So I'm not interested in this. I'll take it out. Take it out. Take this guy out as well. Then focus on this zone, refine it further to this candle here, right? Now we have this. Okay. We have this. There's my liquidity. Here we go. All right. Okay, so let's drill down further to the 15H time frame to further refine the zone. Again, look at what I'm saying. Price is already reacting at this order block zone. Okay, but again, just as I've explained, it could be more of an inducement. So price could tap into strip available liquidity, then tap into the zone. All right, so on the 15-minute time frame, I'll leave my order block the way it is. Then the FVG, the way it is. Okay, I'm making for the adjustment there. And yeah, we have mm, yes, then again there's another block here, but I don't want to mark it because I believe it's going to be used as liquidity area to tap into the rear order block zone. So let's do this all the way here. Okay. So now let's refine further to the 5 minutes time frame, which is our entry time frame. 5 minutes. Okay, so I'll be expecting 5 minutes. Let's see. Okay, so on the 5 minute time frame, we can further refine this zone to this. Okay, can further refine this zone to this zone, and our FVG would be this and this. All right. So you see how we're able to refine our zone, and now we have, you know, so we have this, we have this. We have another zone here. We have another zone here. Is there an FVG? Price has tapped into this already. So we have a zone here and this. So we have a zone here. We have a zone here. So we have a zone here. Let's mark this out. And our FVG is this. This is our FVG. All right, so all right, so this is what I'm expecting price to do. All right, so this is it. So for our position two, let's set our position two. Okay, we're expecting a sell, expecting to short at this. So we just target the next supply, sorry, the next demand zone, which is this level, which is this, right? And okay, so this is what I'm looking. So this is what I'm expecting for, and this is a 4.4 R, right? So this is what I'm expecting. This is what I'm expecting for GBP USD. A sell. All right, are we good? This is what I'm expecting for GBP USD. I sell at this zone, then we take our TP right here at the next demand zone. Okay. Are we good? All right, guys. So I'll share this on the Free Signal Telegram channel as well as the coordinates. Okay. So if you have yeah, you're welcome. If you have what's it called? Any questions regarding the analysis we've done for today, please kindly drop it in the chat. Okay, kindly drop it in the chat. I read chat and sorry, in the comment section rather. Drop it in the comment section. I'll go through all comments and respond to them accordingly. So let's wrap it up for today. So today's key lesson, as always, is structure first, key other block zones, then your entry last. Please, if this session added value to you, don't forget to like the stream, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our live sessions. We'll be back again on Wednesday at 9:00 a.m. West African time. Until then, trade smart, protect your capital, and I'll see you in the next session. Peace out, guys.